What's up, street team? It's your boy, No Fame, letting you know that you can still rep his name even while you game. And we are back in the building, man. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, and we'll be looking at the gold XM4. I'll be talking about how to get it gold, how to go through this thing, what's the best loadout to use to do it. So stay tuned. All right. So we're looking at the XM4. It's probably most people's primary weapon when you jump in the game. I know there's some other meta choices that you got. I know everybody wants to get to that M16, but I'm on this road to dark matter. So we are going to look at these weapons one at a time. So I got some tricks and some tips, some things that'll help you get this weapon to go as fast as possible. Now, I went through everything with this weapon. I've tried different loadouts, different optics, different speed tapes, you name it. I've tried it on this weapon so that you don't have to go through it. Now, you guys know that I like to play a lot of hardcore. I had to go back and forth on this one, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. So this XM4 is not the M4 from Modern Warfare. It seems like it's a little bit weaker. You could set it up so that the recoil isn't too much. It's a pretty good medium versatile weapon, meaning that medium range is good. You could probably try and set up like an SMG, but it's a good medium range weapon, and I find that it seems to be best, you know, with this type of optic that you can see on there right now. I've tried the scope, but because you can't switch it to single shot, it's not like you can do long range, or at least be accurate with long range with this weapon, as you can see. And it takes a lot of rounds to kill the enemy when you're playing in core. So unless you get, you know, some headshots. So you see me going back and forth. I still think primarily that the best way to rep up weapons in general for most of the camos would be through hardcore. The headshots, the amount of kills, you can get those easily within hardcore. But there's a couple of challenges, like one that you got to do while they're detected by your score streaks or your stuff. That's better to do in core, because you have more opportunities to detect them. You got your stun grenade, which lasts like half a second. You got the flashbang, and you've got the field mic. Most importantly, the field mic isn't as useful in hardcore because you don't always have a minimap, so they don't show up on the minimap. You won't know where they're detected, so it makes it a little bit tougher. In the background, you see some highlights, me just getting some kills with them in different scenarios. You could see, like I said, because this thing shoots and it's got a little bit of kick, you got to make sure that that first round is accurate. Otherwise, you're going to be beaming towards an off location. You're going to get yourself killed. Like I said, I went through a lot. This game is slightly different in terms of kills. It's a little bit faster. So you have to watch out for that. When it comes to, you know, which method you should use the longest, you got to do what's most comfortable for you. I think that, like I said, I play a lot of hardcore just because you're going to get quicker kills. And so I think you should go there first. Plus, with the amount of bullets that you need for this, if you don't want to choose scavenger like I've got, if you don't have that early, you know, that's why hardcore is better. But as you get used to it, as you go through these weapons, you'll be able to get more. The difference is too in hardcore, man, you got to go fast, because this game is like I said, it's a little bit faster than Modern Warfare. So you've got to be faster on the uptake. Adding things like the lasers or the reveals, those things help, but really you got to be on it. You got to make sure your sensitivity is to the level that you feel most comfortable with. So going through this M4, would I recommend it? It's certainly not like the M4 from last game, so it's not going to be that beast that you could just fall back on. And we don't know how it's going to play in Warzone, because Warzone doesn't come out until December. So for right now, for multiplayer, this XM4, it'll get you a lot of fun. You put on scavenger, I mean, put on these 50 round mags that I got. It could do some work. It put in some work. Got some nice streaks on that boy, and so you know that's that. Looking at this boy, in order to gold it out the fastest, like I said, start yourself on hardcore. Work this weapon up. Some good things to play: domination. kill confirm, because you're going to get more kills and there are more opportunities to kill rather than team deathmatch. And then, as always, you're going to have to slightly play off the objective. Now, my argument to that always is this: if you're killing people, you're playing the objective, because if they're dead, they can't get the flag or collect tags. But you know, that's an argument for another day. So we got a couple more highlights in here, and then finally I'll show you the loadout that I've used for this weapon. Now, you got to know that for different situations, it'll be a little bit different. For hardcore, you want this weapon to be faster, and so you may change a few attachments. You don't need as many rounds. But for core, you know, I suggest that 50-round magazine. So we're going to look at the loadout that I have, that I use primarily, and I'm going to be using these for all the rest of the classes. Like I said, I went through the pain, so you don't have to. You could just go through this boy and enjoy it, because once you get to this level, then you should be able to get all the weapons golded using these things. So after the rest of these highlights, I've got which camos you should use, core 4 versus hardcore 4, which one they're the fastest in. Like I said, I went through all this stuff, went through the hard part, so you don't have to. And we're going to look at them and we're going to see which one's best for which mode. Obviously, you can make your own decision, but these are the ones that I think would be best used for in order for you to get to dark matter as fast as possible. Alright, so let's go through these boys. For this first one, for just kills, hardcore. For headshots, hardcore. It's easier to get them that way. For the next one, we're looking at getting multiple kills, hardcore. It's easier to get the kills. For this one, you could go core or hardcore. I suggest hardcore. For this one, for Cherry Blossom, to get all of these, that's the one that you should go to core for, because you can use your field mic. That's what I was talking about. For the Policia one, you know, you can go with core or hardcore, either one you want. I went with hardcore. And then for this one right here, the Bliss, I went with hardcore. Like I said, most of these are hardcore, to include even the psychedelic, and then that's when I got the gold. Hardcore for all of them except for that Cherry Blossom. All right, so here's a look at the loadout that I use. First, let's look at everything below the XM4. The launcher, perk greed, gotta use that ninja and that ghost, and scavenger. Those things are most important, and I use that field mic, like I said, especially when I'm playing core. This is a look at the weapon. You can see it's golden out. Right now, they don't let you save them like they did in Modern Warfare, but I'm sure that may change. This is the most effective one I use right here in terms of the optic that I use, and then always gotta have a suppressor, especially if you're playing core, because it does better to keep you off the minimap. You get more kills that way, and you want to get more kills because you want to get more XP. You want to get into those streaks. So if this has helped you out, smash that like button. Go ahead and subscribe. Join that street team if you haven't already, because we're gonna get to dark matter, and the only way you're gonna know when I do it, how I do it, is by being subscribed to the channel. Turn that notification bell on. That's all I got for you today. It's your boy No Fame. Holla back.